Lots of people are curious about how much YouTubers make. You see the Mr. Beasts of the world or the Paul brothers of the world flexing their mansions and all their money. And you're curious, how much are they making? And also, who's making the most money? And you might also be wondering how they're making the money. Because some of them are getting millions of views every day, which works out to thousands of dollars a day. But some of them that you don't even know aren't getting that many views, but they're still making millions and millions of dollars a year. And in this video, we're gonna be going over the top 10 richest YouTubers. And this isn't some generic list. This is actually a well-researched list from someone who actually specializes in helping YouTubers make more money. So I kind of know who's making the most money on the back end. And the shocking truth here is Mr. Beast is not number one on this list. That's right. The person that you thought was number one, Mr. Beast, is not number one. And it's also not PewDiePie, the Paul brothers, or T-Series either. Now, before we get into who is making the money, I do want to clarify one thing, and that is how I came up with these numbers. First of all, this list is not just going to be how much people are making per year, right? Because someone could be making a certain amount of money per year, but that doesn't necessarily mean that their net worth is that much. And the reason for this is because of business expenses and also whether or not they can actually sell their business. So it's gonna be a combination of how much money they're making and also how much money they've made in the past and also how much their business empire is worth and if they could even sell their business empire in the first place. Now, additionally, I'm only including people on this list that primarily made their money from YouTube. So just as an example, Mark Zuckerberg might start a channel on YouTube, but that doesn't make him a YouTuber and he didn't make his money from YouTube. So with that being said, if you appreciate me doing all of the research to make these videos, let me know by gently tapping that like button, and let's jump into it right now. All right, so number 10 on the list is going to be in the finance niche, and that is Meet Kevin. And he is probably the highest earning finance YouTuber possibly in the entire world. Now, one thing I wanna say here is there is one finance influencer, or probably a few of them, that actually earn far more than Meet Kevin does, but they didn't start on YouTube, right? So Dave Ramsey would be an example. His empire is worth like over $700 million. Some people would say it's worth over $1 billion, but he was on the radio for like 30 years before he even got on YouTube. So he doesn't count as a YouTuber. Same thing with Grant Cardone. He's been around for a long time before he ever got on YouTube. However, Meet Kevin did make his start on YouTube, and that's where most of his income and most of his wealth has come from. Now, some YouTubers are very open about how much they make. Some of them are not. Luckily, Meet Kevin is extremely transparent and open about how much he makes. At least he was a few years ago. And so a few years ago, he went on the Iced Coffee Hour podcast and he basically said that he made $30 million in a single year from YouTube. Now, $30 million in a year is good, but believe it or not, that's not the reason why he made it on the list. Now, if you look at how much he's making, let's just go to view stats. Just as an example, he's getting about 6 million views a month, and it's saying he's making about $17,000 to $48,000 a month. So he's probably not making $30 million a year, although most of his income very likely came from his course sales and his other product sales. So this alone would not be enough for him to make it on the list this year, although he definitely would have made it a few years ago. So you might be thinking, Shane, well, why did you put him on the list then? Well, he started a company called House Hack, and this company has tens of millions of dollars of funding. He said that the estimated property values is about $60 million. And this is a legitimate company that down the line, he can actually sell. So I don't know the multiples on these types of companies, but I would not be surprised if he's able to sell this company for anywhere between 30 million and hundreds of millions of dollars. And this is very similar to what Grant Cardone did as well with his company. And he makes a ton of money from that. And again, he could probably sell that company down the line for hundreds of millions, maybe even more. So that's the reason why I decided to keep Meet Kevin on this list. He comes in at number 10, and it's because a few years ago, he made over $30 million. He's consistently made $10 million plus a year for a long time, and he's actually starting companies that he could sell, and that's gonna increase his net worth. And he's probably also making really smart investments with the money that he makes from YouTube. Not to mention the fact that he ran for governor of California and got like 10% of the vote, and he launched his own ETF called PP in 2022. Quick break. I'm going to be doing a live training this Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'm going to be revealing the greatest business in 2025. It's a completely free training, no strings attached. In fact, I'm giving away even more bonuses at the training. Just as an example, I'm going to be giving away my 60-second niche validator GPT, which is a super valuable piece of software where you can finally figure out what the best niche for you is. So do not miss out on this training. Make sure you sign up for it down in the description and the pinned comment below, because this will be the only time we do it, and it will be the only time we give away the 60-second niche validator GPT. And you'll get to meet me, and you'll get to ask me questions directly. So I look forward to seeing you there. So click the link in the description and the pinned comment below, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Put it on your calendar. And if for whatever reason you missed out on it, you weren't able to attend, make sure you still click that link, because we might be having workshops in the future as well, and you'll be the first to know about it. So yeah, hope to see you there. All right, next one on the list you might have seen on your TV when you're visiting your niece or your nephew. They might have been watching this creator, and that is Miss Rachel, and she makes toddler learning videos. Now, if we check out her channel here, her most viewed video is 1.4 billion views. And let's go ahead and click on that. Okay, 1.4 billion views. That is unreal. That is so many views. Okay, 1.4 billion views. Check out the video real quick. And if we go to view stats, they estimate that this video alone has made $7.3 million. 7.3 million from one video. Okay, so this kid's content makes a ton of money, okay? This kid's content is making a lot of money. And you're gonna see a couple other creators that are on this list that also make kind of kids-related content. So, Miss Rachel, toddler learning videos, 1.4 billion views. And this video she uploaded a month ago, 44 million views. This one she uploaded 6 months ago, 73 million views. Like almost all of her videos are getting tens of millions of views. It's absolutely absurd. Now, if we look at her view stats profile, this is going to estimate how much she makes per month. She hasn't uploaded a video in a long time. I mean, she's only uploaded 2 videos in the last 6 months, and she's making $972 to $2.7 million a month passively from videos that she already uploaded a long time ago. That is absolutely insane. So yeah, $1 to $2 million a month, or even close to $3 million a month from these videos. And that doesn't even count how she's monetizing. So if she's monetizing correctly, you know, she's got MissRachel.com, for instance, and she's likely selling toys and stuff like that. She also has sponsorships on the videos. If she's monetizing correctly, she could be making up to double what she makes from AdSense. Maybe even triple if she does a really good job. And this is something that I help people do. And to be honest, most YouTubers are terrible. And if you look at her website, she's got like potty training stuff that she sells here, right? Shop Potty Time with Bean. Okay, so Potty Time with Bean. This is like a toy that like helps kids to you know, potty train, and she's selling that on her website. She's got a few different books here that she's selling on her website, and she's got a ton of toys that she's selling too. Now, I estimate that just from AdSense alone, she's probably making over $20 million a year, and likely from all of the other sources of income, it's gonna bump that up to the $30 to $40 million a year range. And on top of that, she just signed a deal with Netflix. So yeah, she is absolutely crushing it. All right, next on the list is Mark Rober. And this guy is awesome. I have a lot of respect for this guy because he makes really cool content. And he basically makes, you know, math, science stuff that a lot of people find to be boring, fun. Now, according to Forbes, he made $25 million last year. Forbes tries to estimate how much people make. A lot of the time, they're really, really far off. But my estimates, he made anywhere between $20 and $57 million. Now, just from AdSense alone, he's making somewhere between $218,000 to $613,000 a month. And that doesn't count sponsorships, affiliate deals, or his own website, which he promotes here, which is crunchlabs.com. Now, this is really cool because he basically has different kind of science, math, and engineering related games that people can buy to help their kids learn science, math, and engineering in an engaging and entertaining way. Now, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. I should have introduced him first. He makes videos kind of like this: world's largest Jello pool, Can you swim in Jello? 193 million views. And if you look at view stats, he made $966,000 from this video. So he nearly made $1 million from this video. And by the way, view stats usually underestimates how much videos make, especially for education channels. And so this video likely made over $1 million. So yeah, Mark Rober gets a massive amount of views every single month. He's also making a ton of money. Can only imagine how much he's making from his sponsorships. Hundreds of thousands of dollars per video, if not maybe even millions of dollars. And he's getting tens of millions of views per video. All right, next is Markiplier. And according to Forbes, he made about $32 million last year. And I like how they give an entrepreneurship score here too. So basically they're saying like he gets a lot of views, but he's not that good at entrepreneurship, which is basically a fancy way of saying, or I guess like a nice way of saying, that he could make a lot more money if he wanted to, but he probably just doesn't try that hard. But yeah, 32 million views, getting a massive amount of views on all of his videos. So according to view stats, he's making about $243,000 to $675,000 a month just from AdSense alone. And his most viewed video, which kind of shows how much of a goofball he is called Meow. And it was posted 9 years ago. And this video called Meow of a picture of a cat with his mouth talking made $1.9 million according to view stats. What am I doing with my life? Anyways, yeah, he, gets a ton of views every single month, makes a lot of money. Probably has tons of brand deals and sponsorships. Looks like he's got cloakbrand.com, so that's kind of his merch website. This is pretty cool because this looks like it's a company that he could actually sell, which is something that a lot of YouTubers don't do. But overall, with all the information available, I put him at number 7. Next is another kids YouTuber, and that is Ryan's World. So this one is literally a kid. He's filmed by his parents playing with toys and all kinds of stuff like that. And per month, he makes about $240,000 to $670,000 just from AdSense alone. Now, according to Forbes, he made about $35 million last year, and they give him an entrepreneurship score of 1. Now, get ready for this. His most popular video has 2 billion views. Let's see how much this video made. This is gonna make me sick. I can already tell. 2 billion views, and that is huge egg surprise toy challenge with inflatable water slide. This video made $10 million. One video, $10 million. That's more than some movies make. This is a kid's toy video, and it made more money than some full-length production movies make. That is absolutely nuts. So yeah, $10 million from a single video. And on a month-to-month basis, he's making like $240,000 to $670,000. Now, there's a couple other kids channels, and I didn't want to make like the whole list kids channels, but there's a couple other ones. Blippi, he has like a giant empire. My niece likes Blippi. Shout out to my niece. Yeah, I got her a Blippi toy one time. But yeah, he's made a ton of money. I think he did technically sell the Blippi brand, so he's like partially involved, partially not involved. But I'm sure they're making like $10, $20 million a year. Additionally, there's another channel, Coco Melon. This isn't really a YouTuber, so I didn't put them on like the YouTuber list. But Coco Melon might actually be like the highest earning channel on YouTube. They make $6.4 to $17 million in a single month from the views they get. Now, this is animated video, so the AdSense money probably isn't quite as good. But yeah, 6.4 to 17 million in a single month. Absolutely nuts. So yeah, those channels are kind of honorable mention. All right, next one on the list is Asmongold. Now this one I did not see on any of the Forbes lists and stuff like that. And this is one of the most interesting channels because he's just kind of a weird dude who likes World of Warcraft, and he just reacts to random videos on the internet and random stuff on the internet. Now this one, he is a streamer, but I believe that he makes far more money from YouTube than he does from streaming. However, he basically streams himself reacting to different clips and different news and different, controversial stuff. And then he just posts it to YouTube. And just as an example, if you look at his view stats here, he's making $357,000 to $992,000 a month. And that's just with a single channel. And this is just from AdSense alone. But the thing is, he actually has a bunch of different channels. Just as an example, his second channel, Asmongold Clips. If you look at how much money that's making on view stats, it's 310 to 860,000. So if you can combine those two together, he's making $1 to $2 million a month just from AdSense alone. And we're not talking about his other channels, other monetization methods, his Twitch income, et cetera, et cetera. So I would be willing to bet he's probably making over $20 million plus per year just with those two channels alone. And that's not counting any of the other stuff. So yeah, this one's a lot tougher because he didn't show up on Forbes. He's probably not somebody who kind of talks about how much money he makes. And he's probably under the radar of Forbes. Like they don't even know that he's making money, but I decided to put him on the list as well. All right, the next one is actually hilarious because this guy makes the types of videos that your aunt would like share with you and just be like, there's a really good lesson in this. And that is Darman Studios. So according to Forbes, he made $45 million last year. And if you look at his view stats profile, he's making about $416 to $1.2 million a month from his main YouTube channel. Now, I almost didn't include him on the list because he's also making a tremendous amount of money from other platforms. For instance, he posts a lot on Facebook. But what's very interesting about his content is he makes content in such a way where it actually works on a bunch of different platforms. So you can basically just syndicate the content on YouTube to Facebook and a lot of other platforms as well. So it's a very efficient content production system. And the man is uploading like a video a day. And it's basically just these weird situations where someone is just needlessly mean to another person for absolutely no reason. And then it like teaches some lesson about why you shouldn't be so mean to the other person. Like, gold digger dumps broke boyfriend, then regrets her decision. 51 million views. Kids make fun of boy with autism and they instantly regret it. Okay, let's see how much this video made. Yeah, so this video made $340,000. So yeah, Darman's got a great production going on. Forbes says he made $45 million last year. I don't know if that's actually true. Now, he could be making money from licensing like royalties on his videos. And there's a lot of other ways he could be monetizing. But I think the brilliance of his channel is the fact that he makes content that works on a bunch of different platforms. All right, number 3 on the list is Alex Hormozi. Now, this one probably comes as a bit of a surprise to a lot of people because if you look at his view stats profile, he's making about $12,000 to $35,000 a month. Now, the funny thing is, on an average month, I make more than that. For instance, there was a month where I made over $70,000 in AdSense. And so I'm sure this number is way off because he's in the finance / make money online niche. And the AdSense numbers for those, it's a lot of the time it's like $30, $40 per 1,000 views. So I'm sure he's making a lot more money than this, but that's just from AdSense alone. And even if he's making $100,000 a month from AdSense, that doesn't explain why he's on this list. Well, the reason I put him on this list is because he is monetizing YouTube in a way that I haven't seen just about anybody else do. He's doing it in one of the most intelligent ways possible because money is just one store of value. Right? Money is one store of value. There's many different forms of value. You can think of value almost like energy, and there's many different ways to store energy. And the way he is storing value on his channel is he's actually attracting people that he then invests in their business. So he takes equity in their companies and then he invests in their businesses. So from his channel alone, he's likely making a ton of money. He does have a high ticket product that's in person. It's an in-person event that it costs $5,000. And then he upsells people at the in-person event. And so I'm sure he's making tens of millions of dollars a year from that alone. Plus he's making a lot of money from his book sales. But where the real money comes from is his investments in other companies who he attracts from his channel, right? So he says at the beginning of a video, he owns a portfolio of companies doing over 200 or 300 million a year, whatever. And he probably owns a significant stake in those companies, at least 10%. Now, reportedly, he's already sold some of his old companies, which it definitely helped that he had a huge social media presence, selling those companies for over $100 million. But I would be willing to bet that his stake in a lot of these newer companies like School and a lot of his portfolio companies is going to eventually be worth over $1 billion. So he is monetizing his channel in one of the most intelligent ways I have ever seen. And I think he's going to end up making way more money than if he just sold a course or a coaching program like most of the other gurus do. So I do think this one is a bit of a long shot. You know, there's not as much public data on this as some of the other ones. He didn't make it into Forbes, for instance, but I do believe in terms of net worth, he is one of the richest YouTubers, and he's going to be even richer in the future because I think the way he's monetizing is super intelligent. All right, next, number 2 on the list is our boy, Mr. Beast. Now, this is the one that probably everyone thought was gonna be number 1. And if you look at his view stats profile, he is making $2.6 to $7.3 million a month from his YouTube channel. So I would be willing to bet he's probably making at least $30 to $50 million a year just in AdSense alone. So if you go to the 1 year thing, yeah, it agrees with me. $25 to $70 million just from AdSense alone. And apparently he's having a down year when it comes to AdSense. And his most viewed video is $456,000 Squid Game in real life. This video got 841 million views and it generated $4.2 million in AdSense revenue alone. Now, Mr. Beast, the way he is monetizing is really intelligent. He's actually launching companies such as Feastables from his YouTube channel. So the way he's monetizing, in my opinion, is very intelligent, because these are companies that he can sell down the line. So he's generating revenue from these companies. Who knows how much he's making? He could be making in profit, maybe tens of millions of dollars a year. But much more importantly than revenue and profit, these are sellable companies. Now, he also launched the company that I'm actually using to view these numbers, which is ViewStats, right? So he actually launched that company too. Again, another sellable company. So he's making some really smart business moves because he's launching companies that he can then sell in the future. And he's making a ton of money from YouTube in the first place. Now, AdSense revenue, he's making $25 to $70 million a year just from AdSense revenue, but he's also got sponsorships and he also promotes Feastables, etc. in his videos. So he's probably generating double, triple, maybe even more than that from his videos from other forms of monetization. And yeah, tons of respect for Mr. Beast. Super smart guy. Forbes has him earning $85 million last year. Wouldn't be surprised if he earned that much, possibly even more. And many people have said that his company is worth billions of dollars. Although, in my opinion, his brand, the Mr. Beast brand, would be very, very difficult for him to sell. It's possible that he could kind of rebrand and like slowly phase himself out of the Mr. Beast brand and then sell it in the future, but it would be very difficult and it would be a huge process to go through. Now, additionally, he has other channels like Mr. Beast Gaming and Mr. Beast Philanthropy, and those channels make a pretty good amount of money as well. And on top of that, he has channels in a bunch of different languages too, and those channels are likely making really good money too from AdSense and other things. So yeah, Mr. Beast is he's the GOAT YouTuber. I mean, he's the greatest YouTuber of all time without a doubt. And he's the one who makes almost the most money on YouTube, except there's one person in the world that makes more money than him, and it's someone you would never expect. And that person is Physics Walla, also known as Alak Pandey. Apologies if I'm saying your name wrong. But Physics Walla started off in a small village in India, and he was dirt poor. And he started off by recording himself in his basement with a crappy phone on a whiteboard teaching physics, right? That's how he started off. And from this YouTube channel, he was able to launch an edtech company, Physics Walla, that has now been valuated at $2.8 billion. In fact, one website has a current valuation of $3.7 billion, and they're about to raise more funding, and they're gonna have a valuation of $5 billion. And this is an edtech company that was launched from this guy's YouTube channel, right? He started on YouTube and launched the edtech company from his channel, right? This isn't some big company that just happens to have a YouTube channel. This is somebody who started off as a YouTuber and launched their edtech company from their channel, and now it's worth $3.7 billion. I mean, look at this video, like this early video of him. I mean, it's terrible. Like the thumbnail's awful. You can barely see him. It looks like it was recorded with a potato. This is epic, man. He was, making these videos like 8 years ago, and you can see the first videos he uploaded 9 years ago, he only uploaded 3 videos in a year. And then 8 years ago, this video looked terrible. I mean, the quality is just awful. And this is just such an inspirational story. Just get started, guys. Your quality might be awful when you just get started, just like his was. And now he's the richest YouTuber in the entire world. Now, you might be thinking, Shane, those channels are awesome, but they're not relatable. Well, I can tell you, I've worked with a ton of YouTubers that don't get tens of millions or hundreds of millions of views on their video. In fact, in many cases, they just get a few thousand or maybe tens of thousands of views on their video, and they're making a ton of money, and nobody knows about them. Just as an example, my client Sean, when he first started working with me, he had a relatively successful YouTube channel. He was making about $10 to $30,000 a month from his channel. And after 9 months of working with me, we scaled all the way up to $500,000 a month. And this is proper monetization and targeting the right people. And you can see his videos get 6,000 views, 13,000, 61,000, 18,000, etc. Another one of my clients, Felix and Friends, he makes 8 figures a year with a channel with only 298,000 subscribers. Oh, and Sean only has 379,000. So Felix and Friends makes over $1 million a month with this channel. And again, their videos don't get a crazy amount of views. 49,000, 35,000, 43,000, 34,000, etc. So you don't need to get millions and millions and millions of views on every single video to make a ton of money if you choose the right niche and you monetize correctly. Which, by the way, I created a GPT that basically has thousands of hours of my coaching lessons, and it's all distilled into a GPT that you can ask any question that you want to if it has to do with monetization, picking your niche, or picking the right videos, because video idea selection can be really nerve-wracking. So those are the 3 things that people get tripped up on the most, and those are the 3 GPTs that I made to help you out. And you can check that out down in the description and the pinned comment below. Additionally, if you wanna grow your YouTube channel, operationalize your YouTube channel so you're freeing up your time, you're not having to spend all of your time on YouTube, or make more money with YouTube, then book a call with myself and my team down in the description and the pinned comment below, and we'll figure out where you are right now, where you wanna be, we'll make a plan to get there, and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together. And additionally, check out this interview I did with Sean where we talk about exactly how we were able to get his channel from $30,000 a month to over $500,000 a month by clicking right here.